Welcome once again to the Coach Damon Floyd Show here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. Our shows each week, of course, brought to you by great friends and sponsors at Tropes Unlimited there on Mimosa Drive, and also LB Appliance on Durkee Road. We appreciate their continued support of Brandon Central High School football each and every week. As we talk about the game we just played and the game coming up, Coach Floyd, as we look back at the Maryville game, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. We had another key injury to our quarterback, Cash Bandy. We lost Tucker Cook first game of the year, and we played a game with Cash. Tell us what's latest on him. I hate to ask you this, but
yeah, it's not good news. You know, he had the MRI results come back, and looks like he's probably done for the year. So another tough loss. You know, we lost Tyler the first game, and of course Cash played a game, then Cash this game. We lost AJ Nash, you know, the backup quarterback against McMinn too. He's been out for 2 weeks. I think he does get to practice today. So that's good news. But, you know, it's just one of those years where you're having some key injuries. But it's not just at quarterback. You know, we got other guys that are banged up, and look, other teams deal with it too. So it's our job as coaches to try to find a way to put something together. But to be quite honest, it's very frustrating and hard. It seems like we're doing something new every week. But you know what? We'll deal with it, and it's part of the game. So we'll just rally around each other and give it all we got.
Well, look at that Maryville team from Friday night. We lost that game, of course, 38-0. I think the final score. They jumped on us early, 21-0 first quarter. We had some opportunities there. We had a great kick return that we lost on a fumble, and that set him up at midfield or close to midfield for another score there. But that may be the best Maryville defense I have seen in a while. They are huge on the offensive line. Is college size, for one thing. Their offense is relentless too with moving the ball. Price Davis, you know, he's a D1 player going to Richmond, and they just don't make mistakes. And if you should make one, they had a few penalties, which is unlike them. I thought more so than they normally have in a Maryville game. But they're big, both sides of the ball. They're very physical, and they've had 3 straight shutouts. That's the first time in 20 years they've had 3 straight shutouts. And this may be a team of destiny for them. But what's your takeaways from Friday night's game? You know, and there's always some good stuff coming out, even in win or lose. Stuff that you look at and say, okay, this kid played good, or whatever. You know,
we didn't see the good stuff. For being honest, Maryville's, first of all, they're very well coached.
Yes,
I think, you know, they were waiting for us. I think it's been the off season of getting ready to play us. But in the end, at the end of the day, and when the ball snapped, it's about going out and executing, and they execute as well as we've seen. And they've done this in the past. Their kids are very bright. I mean, for the stuff they run, they put you in a bind, and they got us a couple times where we're out of position, and then, you know, it's one-on-one football, and you don't make a tackle, and it's big plays. And really, that's what happened to us on defense. Offensively, we couldn't move them. I mean, you know, we had some bad snaps again. We had the first possession, well, the very first play of the game, we snap it and not even caught a snap count. Then the second down, we have a guy wide open, we don't hit him. Third down, we come up and are 1 yard short. You can't do that against teams like that. As bad as things win, it's 14-0. We get a kickoff return. Looks like we're going to take it to the house. Somehow we fumble. So when you do things like that, it's just magnified, man. And I feel like our kids, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I told everybody last week, like, we're going to go fight. Like, that's the character of this year's team. And I'm always going to be honest. We didn't go in there and fight. And that's what is, if you lose 38-7 or 38-0 and you give everything you got, we didn't. We didn't. We had some kids that were wide-eyed, and when they saw the size of those offensive linemen, just to be quite honest, we didn't want any. And that's the frustrating part, because I felt like we've always gave fight, and we've got to find that somewhere along the line. But give Maryville a lot of credit. You know, and I said, after the game, it was, I don't know if it got quoted, but somebody asked me what was the difference. It's like, well, they're older, they're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger, and they're way more well prepared than we were. So that's what happens when you get beat like that.
And watching them play, and Earl, I comment, I think, on the radio on this, it's not like they're going to break a 90 or a 50-yard or an 80-yard game. They have some significant gains, but they just simply march down the field, play after play. When they need the first down, they get the first down, and we just couldn't seem to.
The execution, and the players believing in what's called, when whether it's offense, defense, special teams, their players have a belief that the play's going to work. We've had that before, but right now we don't. You know, and to be quite honest with you, some other downs, we're calling a play, and I'm not throwing kids under the bus, but it's reality is the fact if we call a play and a player doesn't run that play when you're supposed to get the ball, I don't know what else to call.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the frustrating things as a coach that are happening right now. But we've got to find a way for some other kids to maybe get some opportunities. In this game, though, if you're a playmaker, you got to want the ball. You know, offensive line, at some point, you got to have a little pride, and we got to block a little better. We can't be getting knocked down on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, you got to make a tackle. You've got to stand your ground. That didn't happen at all Friday. It was bad.
Well, we had a lot of the same characters on our defense step up, you know, make a lot of tackles. A name we call a lot Friday that we hadn't called too much in the past was Kenyon Phelps, who came in and played really hard. I thought was in on a lot of tackles. Probably we should call his name more than we did, but he was truly into the game, seemed like Friday night.
You know, and I'm very disappointed, obviously, but we do have kids that are really playing hard. Kenyon's one of them. He's learning more and more now of how we do stuff. We're starting to move him around on defense, put him in position. Wiley, same Wiley. He had a ton of tackles. Zane had a lot of tackles. So those are guys that stick out that every play they're giving relentless effort. And those guys didn't miss tackles. If they get a chance to make a tackle, those three guys are bringing you down. So, you know, there's three of them. Now we got to get 8 more. And then offensively, we had some guys, too, that played really hard. You know, I thought Luke Hagee, our left tackle, he graded out at 87%. Chris Myers, right guard, graded out at 88%. So those two linemen, those are winning efforts that we can rally behind. Now we got to get everybody else called up.
2 out of 5 ain't enough.
2 out of 5, no, never is, no matter who you're playing.
Yeah, not in 6A football there. Can we get through one game without a major injury?
Well, I sure hope so. I sure hope so. You know, and everybody knows about our quarterback situation, but you know, we're missing Timmy Gay last week. There's just a lot of injuries right now that, other than our quarterback, that other people are getting an opportunity if they take advantage. And right now, that's not happening. So, you know, hopefully we can stay healthy this week and give a good effort.
With a young team like we have, an inexperienced team, it just gets younger. Anytime somebody gets hurt, we usually get younger, a little bit more experienced. There's a possibility now. I was just watching the weather this morning. This tropical storm Francine is going to hit as a Category 1 or 2 hurricane, I think, tomorrow in the Gulf Coast, then head northward. It looks like what they're saying is going to be west of us and hit Nashville, Memphis with the rain. Otherwise, it's going to be raining here in Cleveland. It could be heavy rains and wind, but you've said this before, it's wet on both sides of the ball.
It is.
It's windy on both sides of the ball. It's like the heat, you know, for both.
It is, and Coach Jackson and I just actually looked at the weather together, but the problem is it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to go play in it.
Yeah, and we'll show up, play it there. Let's take a break here for our great sponsors. We'll be back here with Coach Damon Floyd Show when we return in just 1 minute after these remarks.
Welcome to L&B Appliances, serving the greater Cleveland community for over 30 years. Family-owned and locally operated, L&B Appliances specializes in top name brand appliances like Whirlpool, Maytag, and Amana. Stop by the showroom today and speak with our sales and service team about your appliance needs. Financing and free delivery is available for those who qualify. L&B Appliances, large enough to meet all your appliance needs, small enough to appreciate your business.
Welcome back to Coach Damon Floyd Show here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. We talked about coming up a big rivalry game this week, Walker Valley, who took it on the chin from Cleveland last week, 51-23, I believe was the final there at Cleveland High School. They'll be coming to Bear Stadium again. And, Coach, we've played them 19 times for 18-1. Got one loss in 2014 and 17-30, I believe. Right here, too, though.
It was at Walker Valley.
It's at I'm sorry. Yeah, it was at Walker Valley. I looked that up yesterday, and I've already forgotten. And they're coming in here with revenge on their mind, somewhat, I guess, and they're wanting to make a statement. You know, they were in the semifinals last year like we were. They're off to a 2-1 start. We're off to a 1-2 start, so they're going to come in here, all guns firing, and trying to take care of, exploit our injuries, I guess, and things like that. But what do you see with Walker Valley? Coach Aiken's been there now. I guess this is his 6th season, and he's proven he can help get that program turned around.
Oh yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit, and you know, he's done a tremendous job. So their players play extremely hard. Their scheme's really sound and really good. you know, the first 2 games of the year, they blew people out. Last week against Cleveland jumped out. They come back and take the lead.
Yeah.
I think they were down 22-0.
Yes,
they
were.
come back and take the lead 23-22. That tells you what kind of team you got when you fight back from that and take the lead. And then late in the fourth quarter, it just kind of snowballed. So they scored that out of hand. Couple mistakes, and before you know it, it's bad. But which has happened to all of us. So like I said, I have a lot of respect for them. They got some guys that can make some plays offensively, defensively. They play really, really hard. I'm sure they're very excited to come down here and get after us. So we definitely have our hands full again. One of the top 5A programs in the state. Like you said, they went to semifinals last year. So we know what we're in for. Somewhere along the line, it's not about them, it's about us. And we have got to find that fight again that we had earlier in the season. And I know it's easy to make excuses, and the wind goes out of our sails here for a little bit, but it is what it is. Like, we've got to rally. And if we don't, then it's probably going to be ugly again. But we've got the kids. It's in them. We just got to pull it out of them somehow of fighting and then see what happens.
This is where you really look to your captains to step up and say, hey, guys, get your chin off the ground and let's go do it and fight hard and give our all for the Bears, Is Walker Valley, are they physically big? I know they're not going to be a Maryville size. I don't think anybody will be, but.
Yeah, I think when you say big, if you talk about, this is no offense to Walker Valley, when you talk about the teams we play, no, they're nowhere near the biggest team we're going to play, but they're size-wise, they're pretty even with us. We're not very big. This is one of the smallest teams we've ever had. So I think the size and the speed, we're pretty equal, as a team. So I think it can be a good ball game, but we can't have bad snaps. We can't have turnovers. We can't have penalties. If we do, then you're going to see the same results we've had, and those aren't good. So defensively, we've got to step up. Everybody knows the situation we're in. So defensively, we can't go out there and give up 35 points and expect to win. We have got to keep this thing low scoring to even have a chance. So to be quite honest with you, today's Tuesday, and we've got an offense installed. When you practice on Monday, it's not a real practice. You got a JV game, you got a lot of things going on. You're trying to correct mistakes from previous Fridays. So you go out and put some stuff in, you practice. But we have to go out and see how it works today to even, what we're thinking is even going to be a possibility. But the good thing is, look, A.J. Nash is a quarterback. He comes back today. And then, of course, Tucker Cook, Tyler's little brother, he can still throw the ball some. So, we just got to get those guys as caught up as we can for a big game Friday.
Well, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We're going to have a big crowd here. I mean, it's always fun playing them. And you've preached this philosophy. It's the next man up. If somebody goes down or is injured or winded or whatever, can't play, you got to step up there. And like I said, it's where you rely on your captains to get, keep the momentum, keep the positivity thing coming on there. It's a very physical game. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. I mean, we've gone through this before. They've gone through it. They've got some injuries. They lost Zeke Garrison, who was one of their mainstays defensively up there. And I don't know who he is or anything about it, but I've talked to their guys at Walker Valley and said, that was a huge blow for them.
He's a good player, very good player. So, like I mentioned, injuries are part of the game. We're getting a lot of, I guess, publicity just because it's quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But, they've lost some guys. We've lost some guys other than quarterbacks, and every team has. That's just part of the game. So it is next man up. You talk about those senior leaderships. The hard part is we've only got 7 seniors that are playing. So, usually that's hard for 7 guys to lead a team.
23 last year we had.
24.
24.
Had 24 last year that had played a lot of football that they leaned on. But even out of those 7, not all of them were starters. So you just have a lot of young guys that, look, it's just going to be a good experience for them, and they just got to get better as we get going. So bottom line is nobody's feeling sorry for us. We've got to go to practice and get to work and try to be ready for Friday.
Well, we hope to see all you fans there Friday night at the Bear Nation. They show up in mass so we can get a big crowd there in Bear Stadium and have a go at it. The Bradley Central hosting Walker Valley. 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll go live on ESPN Radio at 5:30 with a pregame show, including this interview, and a player review and our football panel, of course. Until next time, this is Gary Ownbey saying so long for now. God bless and go Bears.